Hi, welcome to another UK EDC video review. As you've just seen, today we are going to be looking at the version 2 of Polymath's mini survival tin. A little tiny bit bigger, but that means they got a lot more things in there. So we'll just go back down here, we'll open them up and see what's inside. So on the outside we've got a Ranger band which is securing it. Of course you can thread this through a belt or through a piece of webbing, etc. So you see it's really on there, so it ain't going to fall off. Okay, so let's open up the tin and see what we've got inside then. So here we go. So first of all we've got a condom on top, always handy. We know what that's used for, not just rude games but also for a water carrier. We've also got, we'll come to that in a minute, we've also got some 550 paracord in a kind of cobra weave style here. So we all know the importance of cordage. We have a little button compass so we know where we're going. We also have, now this is part of a fire striker. So what we've got here is that can go into there and it comes off, and that's your ferrocerium rod, and you can strike them off there to get some sparks to light a fire. And on this end we have quite a very loud whistle actually. So we have a fire starting and a meaningful signal. The reason the guys put that on there was because they went to a Ray Mears audience with kind of thing, and he said the most important thing to carry is a whistle. Now this little thing here, I'm really amazed at this. When I saw this I wondered what it was, because what it actually is, if you turn the thing there, you've got a very small torch. Now that's going to be great for signalling, and it's so small. I've never actually seen one that small before. So we've got a useful little aid so you can see in the dark should you need to. So we'll put that with the rest of the gear. We've also got a mini sewing kit as well, useful for all kinds of things. I'm not going to go through all that now, you should know that, if not look it up on YouTube. We've also got, now again I'm going to show you that one in a minute. I've not actually opened one of these before, but at least we can see. So we have here 10 centimetres of adhesive bandage, just in case you cut yourself, always a useful thing to take as well. And of course in the bottom there we have a small scalpel blade to act as a cutting tool. Now I always think, since I was 14 I've always carried a knife. Cutting tool, not a weapon by the way. When I'm out in the woods, this is the one I carry on with me. This is a Ashdown Forest Crafts. This is a Simon Hardy custom design, and this one is called the Woodsman. So I always carry that one on the belt when I'm out and about in the woods. And as a backup, in this pocket I carry a Tops T-bow, originally designed as a neck knife, but I just put it in my pocket with a Exotac Nano Striker there, and this is fire cord wrapped around the outside just in case I need it. So you should always never leave home without a knife. If you're out and about, it's good to have a backup. So that's why there's no knife in here, of course, they've got to keep it small as well. So what this is actually a towel in here, believe it or not. I've never actually opened one of these before, so it's going to be interesting. And it's almost like a pill. Now I believe you have to wet these to actually get them to expand. So, and the reason this is in here is also for fire lighting, so you could make some tinder out of this, and also should you have a cut or something you can use it as a towel. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to this in a second. I'm going to get this out in a bit of water because you have to moisten it up slightly. Now what we've got in this little tiny tin here, I can slide him off. This top piece slides off, and we've got in here a mini fishing kit. Now I actually know for a fact how the guys got this together, and they've actually done a lot of research into this. So this is basically a glow stick, so we can use that for signal as well. Also a good fish attraction, and we've also got like a little bloodworm in there, artificial lure. We've got a safety pin, again always useful to have a safety pin. We've got a couple of small hooks. And I actually know a little bit about fishing, and these will catch fish. You'll catch small, big and big fish. I'd say that's about a size 8 or a size 10. So we've got a couple of them in there. We've got a little fake lure maggot. We've got a couple more hooks in there, a little bit of split shot, another safety pin, and this is designed to use as an eye as a fishing rod. Now I'll make one of these up in a minute and show you guys exactly what I mean about this, and we'll open all these little bits in stages and we'll go through what each little bit does. So I'm going to cut now and we'll come back in a minute and have another look. Okay, so stay tuned. Hi, welcome back. We're going to look at these little things a little bit more in depth now. So this is the kind of like dehydrated pre-shrunk towel. So you could rough that up and make tinder should you wish to. That's one of the intentions of this. But the other one is to be a medical towel as well. So I'm just going to take a little bit of water. And you'll see It's actually starting to expand. Now it's got a bit moist. So there we go. Now there is another use for this towel, but I'll tell you that in a minute. So there you go, you've got a small towel, should you wish to use one. Again, great thing for a medical thing. So you could give yourself a bit of a clean up with that. But we can go a little bit further than that. I'm just going to pop that down there for now. But also look at, this is where I said it was the plasters. But what we've also got in there is like a little first aid kit. And again, the guys have thought really hard about what they can put into such a small space. So we've got some band-aids, call it what you want there. And we've also got a little pre-injection swab. You can also use that as well as a fire lighter and for dressing your wound. But you've also got some water purification pills in there. Now what you can do is you could use this tin, you could put your water purification pills in there and put that in the tin as well. Oopsie, a bit blowy here. You could put that in the till there, in the tin, with a couple of those water purifications, and you've got a sterile dressing. So you've got a sterile dressing that you can put on yourself, or you can use to clean yourself up if you've already used your little pre-injection swab there. And of course you can boil water up in there should you need to. And you could also use it as a drinking vessel. So that's your little first aid kit you get with it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make up a fishing rod just so you can see how the guys intended to use that. So stay tuned, we'll be back in a second. Okay, so you can see I've made up a very rudimentary fishing rod here. Again, I've just thrown this together. So basically what the idea of the eye is for us to screw in the end of a stick, tie your line on it, and then on the opposite end I've got one split shot on there and one bloodworm or lobworm, whatever that's called, through a hook. So obviously the idea is you go fishing with this, and of course you can use them for night lines as well if you dig up some worms. Now the line itself, there's 8 metres of line on that little spool there, and it's £6 line, and that should be enough to catch small fish. And actually that's the kind of, when I go mullet fishing and when I'm going to go abroad, that's the kind of line I use anyway. So I've just used a little bit on here to show you. So I'm not expecting to catch anything, but just to show you. Of course we could use a bigger stick to get out further. So if there was a fish in there, we could tempt him on our little bit of artificial bait there. So there you go. That's your intended use for the bit of fishing kit, okay? Thanks very much for watching. I'll just do a quick shot of the survival kit's contents for you to put up at the end of the screen. Get this from the guys at Polymath, again a reasonable price. I'll put all the details in the show more tab and also where you can follow me on social media, okay? Thanks for watching wherever you are in the world now. Take care.